So I started the Believe It Foundation, which is all about the inclusion of physically challenged kids with sort of their typical peers or activities their typical peers would be able to do. We've been in existence for 12 years now, since 2008. I've been doing the adaptive bike program for about 2 years now.
So Andrew actually started the bike program with us in Harlandale about 3 years ago. And at that time I was the adaptive PE coordinator in Harlandale. And that's really where the bike program actually was born, and we were the pilot school and the pilot program for it. So we really took those bikes and we started with one, and by the time I left at the end of last year, we had 17 of them. And officially program director since August this year with him, and now we've taken those bikes and gotten to 7 new school districts. So we've just really grown a lot this year, and we're going to have about 45 to 50 bikes in schools. So we're really looking forward to it. It serves about 10 districts.
What I really realized and why I got into the bikes, and we serve a broader population with the bikes, is that there wasn't really a program out there.
The bike is fun to play on and go really fast with no flips or anything. Get back on the horse. Once it knocks you down, get back up again. Just gotta keep on going, keep on moving and rocking and rolling.
Even though I fall, I still want to get back up and do it again. I messed up the first time, I can get back up and do it again and learn it. I learned from my mistakes.
My primary disability is cerebral palsy, and was able to be sort of included with typical kids all throughout my schooling and my formative years. I really realized that the experiences that I had had in my small community weren't exactly like the real world in college, and what I realized what made my younger years special was the ability to meet kids at a younger age and to be included that way.
For my classmates is that I enjoy with them. I like to learn new experience with them, learn new things and get to know a lot of my classmates. I love to help other people and new people.
What we're really about at the Believe It Foundation is for kids that can, these activities be activities that spawn them on to other things like employment, or for them to have self-determination. And so that's really our end goal, is through these sort of inclusive experiences, think, because I was able to go do this, I can now succeed in anything that I set my mind to do. And my goal is for those kids and for all kids to have joy, but for kids to be self-determinant and to be able to do whatever they want to do.
What I want to do in the future, I plan to go to school for education so I can become a special education teacher one day.
Eventually, I'd like some of my kids that have done the programs to be able to take over some of the things that I do so that they have the experience that I've had. If they do one thing, then maybe they start believing they can do another thing, and it becomes an incentive to do well in school or in their classroom. We have many examples where teachers will go, well, if you do this for me, in the classroom, then we'll set up a bike ride for you.
One classroom actually had bike bucks, and the bike bucks, for every bike buck you earn throughout the day, is how many minutes on the bike you got from 2:30 to 3 o'clock. So if you made $30 worth of bike bucks, you rode the bike for 30 minutes. With COVID, is that they couldn't leave the classroom. Well, we found that these bikes do have one of those indoor trainers, so the students can actually still ride even if they're in the classroom. The bike adds a different dynamic because it allows the student who doesn't run or doesn't even walk to still participate in running activities in the gym. Or if a student needs help with a transition, they're able to use the bike to transition from the classroom to the cafeteria or to the gym or to the library, and it gives them a different tool. And then on the inclusion side, it really lets the kids go out and ride with their friends on weekends. We had one little girl that her family borrowed it, and they rode 24 kilometers in one weekend before they brought that little tricycle back to us. And they tracked it all and they showed me, and that was the first time they've ridden as a family, and the since the girl was about 1 or 2 and fit in like a bucket seat. And she was 12, so it's been 10 years since they went as a family. And that's really where I see a lot of that impact is when you've got these bikes that are more than just a bike, but they're actually a tool and a bridge for inclusion for the school and for families alike. So it really just changes that whole dynamic of families being able to do things, brothers and sisters actually doing the same thing. And it just really adds to the whole, inclusion model.
It feels like I'm free, that wind in my hair, and there's no one around me.
I believe no matter your abilities, socialization with any disability is so important. And inclusion is that way, because what will happen is that the typical student who would work with this person with a disability would also learn, and they're also impacted by being able to work with these kids and learn how special they are and their uniqueness. What I always want is for the people that are running the foundation or who are out front with the foundation spreading the message to be able to relate to the kids that are taking advantage of the programs. And so my goal is for the kids that kind of grow up in the program to be able in due time to take over some of the things that I do, and I'll still be there, but for them to have the experiences that I've had, in watching what we're watching today.
Dad.
I mean, the main thing is we just want to make sure that our kids are being as independent as possible. We want them to feel like they're a part of something, and that's the most important thing right now. Is that's what they need, so that they'll have a future. It's rewarding, they put a smile on your face every day when you see them smile. And deep down, you're just like, this is something that they need. It's like I said at the beginning, it's rewarding. It really is.